guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another interesting video. Today we will learn how to make skirts or dress with tail. I'll be using freehand today for today's tutorial, and it's going to be very easy and straight to the point. Kindly subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. Turn on the notification bell. So let's begin. The dimension of the fabric we'll need will be your hip circumference plus 25 inches. Then for the length, it will be the full length of your skirt, or if you're making a dress, that will be the full length of the dress minus the half length. Okay, so my hip circumference is 44 inches. Okay, so I'll just measure 44 inches. So you measure 44 inches and you're going to add 25 inches to that. That will be for the mermaid. Okay, so you measure the full length of your skirt. Then you can add 2 inches for hemming allowance depending on the kind of fabric you're using. Okay, so once you've done that, you're going to fold from the width. Okay, so you fold into 2. Now that will be our center back, and the folded part will be our center front. So we'll fold that into 2 again. So this time we're going to leave out 1 inch or 1.5 for our zipper allowance. We measure out half inch. Half inch will be for our seam allowance to join to the half length, okay, or to add your band. Next, we're going to measure our hip line. Okay, and the hip from the waist is 9 inches. Just measure yours. It's usually between 7 to 11 inches, depends on your height. So 9 inches for the hip line, and I'll mark that there. So our knee is 22 inches, okay, from the waistline, but I like going up by 2 inches. I like it coming up above the knee line a little bit. Next we're going to mark will be the full length. Okay, so just measure the full length. So the waist circumference is 36 inches. So you want to divide 36 by 4. That will be 9 inches. So you mark that there. Then you're going to add 1 inch for that. With that allowance will be 1 inch. Then you're going to add your seam allowance. You can use 1.5 or 2 inches, whichever works for you. So I'm just going with 1.5 inches. So that's a total of 11.5. Your hip circumference is 44 inches, the measurement we're working with, and we just divide that by 4. That will be 11 inches. Okay, then we'll now go ahead and add our 1.5 for the seam allowance. So you want to link up those 2 points. So our hip circumference is 44 inches. And if you divide that by 4 is 11. So we want to just apply that 11 inches on the knee line. Okay, so instead of adding our 1.5 seam allowance, we're not going to add it here. This implies that we're taking away 1.5 from the hip line. Okay, so I've just marked 11 inches because we want it to curve into the knee. So just want to mark straight from the knee line to the bottom. That's the full length. Let me just mention that on the hip circumference, I added 25 inches. You can modify to suit the fullness you want. So if you want it to be very full, you can add up to 35 inches or even more. So I just added 25 inches because I want it moderate. Okay, then at the bottom here, we just want to take away 1.5 inches to create a curve on that point. So I've just cut together the front and the back pattern. I'll just take away my front pattern and then I'll complete my back pattern. So the only modification I want to do on this back pattern is on the zipper allowance. I want to go in by 1/2 inch to eliminate zipper bulge. You can go in by 0.75. Don't worry, it will not affect your waistline. Okay, it's just from the zipper allowance. Then we'll now connect that to our actual hip line. Then on the knee line as well, we're going to go in by 1/2 inch. Okay, and you link that back to the hip line. This part is just to eliminate the zipper bulge, and this one is to add a little curve to your hip line. So that's it for the skirt. Now we're going to cut the tail or the train. So to cut this train, what you simply need to do is to measure from this knee line downwards. I got 26 inches, okay, and that will be the length of your tail. Now to cut the tail, we'll get another 1 meter of fabric, and we're going to fold in triangular form, just the way we fold to cut our flare. We're folding diagonally in bias form, okay. So the folded part as well will be the center back. Okay, so we want to apply our 26 inches along this side. So that's 26 there. You want to mark that on that point. Okay, then you now decide how long you want your train to be. So this is our train tail. So I want to curve this into the train. So the deeper down you go, the longer the train will be. So once you've done that, you now want to cut out. You measure about 3 inches from the bottom. This will help give room for the train to balance, okay? This 3 inches will allow the train to express itself. And from that point, you link it straight to your zipper allowance point. So after cutting on the lining, we'll have to cut on our main fabric, which is a lace. Okay, so just place this, cut each of these pattern on your lace fabric. So I've gone ahead to cut all the pieces on the lace fabric as well. So this is what the train looks like, and this is the part that will be attached to the center back here. Then it will flow like that. So what we need to do now is to sew on all the edges. So you just sew on the edges, just to sew the lace to the lining. So you sew that way and all around the edges of this tail. Then you do same on all the other pieces. So I've done the edges, and I've also gone ahead to do my darts. Okay, so I've done the darts now. This is what the back pattern looks like. So now remember to overlock your edges. Okay, you can do that now before you continue, or you just leave it. When you finish sewing everything, you just overlock all the edges since it's fraying, as you can see. So now what I want to do now is to align my zipper allowance. So you align the two of them, and you're going to sew. Leave out about 10 to 12 inches where you attach your zipper. Then you now close up the rest. Pin that in place, and you're going to sew. Align the waistline as well. So just sew from this point all the way to that angle. So that is done. I've sewn the zipper allowance, closed it up, and that's where the zipper will go. Just grab your train. So we're going to hold that edge, the top bit of the flare. That's what we are holding. So you pin it here. You pin that sharp point to that end. Then you're going to align it like that. So pin it from top to bottom like that. Okay, then you're going to sew, then pin the other side as well. So we'll sew like that. Okay, when you get to that point, when you get to that sharp edge, leave your needle in there, then you twist your fabric around. Okay, leave your needle there, twist your fabric around, and continue your sewing until you get to the other side. So the train is now done, and this is what it looks like. What you need to do now is to flatten out this seam. Just iron it down. Iron it down. Then you're going to sew on your zipper on that point. Okay, so that's it. So those edges, so you just use your soldering iron to harvest it neatly. So it's nicely cut out now. So what I just want to do is to sew it on the train. Okay, so on that tail you just attach this to it. So just place that there. You can decide to trim out a bit of the train from that end. Then you're going to loosen here, sew this on, make sure you align it nicely, and sew it on like that and place it there. You can use fabric glue to glue it on, but I always like to still do my top stitch on it. It holds it better. Okay, so just sew like that, sew around the edges like that until you've gone round the train. Make sure you sew it in nicely. So this is the back pattern. So you just finish off your dress, and this is how to make the train. I hope this was interesting and helpful. I hope you found value from today's video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, share this video with your friends, share with your family, share with people who like sewing and people who love lovely things. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I upload videos every week on this channel. Kindly drop me a comment if you have any questions, suggestions, or just to say hi. And and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.